Today we're going to talk about the anatomy of animals. So what is anatomy and physiology? Animals are complex organisms with systems and processes that allow them to carry out activities to remain in a living condition. Anatomy is the study of the form, shape, and appearance of an animal. Since mammals are among the most common animals, most of the information on anatomy today will focus on these animals. Gross anatomy deals with the features that can be seen with the unaided eye. Examples include feet, horns, tails, tongues, teeth, and beaks. Microscopic anatomy deals with the features that can only be seen with magnification, such as the sperm you see here under microscope, and cells. Physiology is the study of the function of the cells, tissues, organs, and organ systems of the living organism. Physiology includes relationships among functions by different systems of an organism, such as secretion and digestion. Diseases can cause the systems to fail to work properly. A cell is the most basic structure of an animal and is considered the building block from which an animal's body is made. All cells of an embryo have the same number and kinds of genes, as they all descend from the same zygote. In the development process, cell differentiation occurs. In cell differentiation, cells become specialized in structure and function by activating and suppressing their genes in selective and unique ways. Cell differentiation is very important because organisms could not exist if all cells were alike. So here you see examples of skin cells, heart cells, and liver cells. All of these are under a microscope and have been stained to make them easier to see. A specialized group of cells that are organized to perform a specific function are called tissues. A tissue could also be defined as a group of cells that are alike in activity and structure. The primary types of tissues are epithelial, connective, muscle, and nervous, and we will talk more about those later. Here you see an example of lung tissue. Organs are groups of tissues that perform specific functions. The tissues work cooperatively so the organ can carry out its purpose. Examples of organs include the liver, the lungs, the heart, and the brain. An organ system is a group of organs that work together to carry out a specific activity. The following are major organ systems: circulatory, digestive, integumentary, endocrine, urinary, muscular, nervous, reproductive, respiratory, and skeletal. Here you see the digestive system of a rat. As previously stated, tissue contains a cluster of cells that are alike in structure and activity. Tissue cells work together to perform a specific function. Where the first of the four basic types of tissue cells that we're going to talk about are epithelial tissues. These tissues line the body's surface, opening and tubes in the body, such as blood vessels. These tissues work together to perform a specific function. Epithelial tissues are groups of cells arranged together in sheets. Epithelial tissues perform several functions. Skin, which is composed of epithelial tissue, protects the body from things such as the sun's ultraviolet rays and bacteria. Epithelial tissues also produce a variety of secretions, such as tears, saliva, sweat, urine, and milk. In addition, epithelial cells that line the intestines, lung, and kidneys can absorb materials from surrounding fluids in a highly selective manner. Epithelial tissue is classified by cell shape into three types of tissue. Squamous epithelium is composed of flat cells, as you see here. Cuboidal epithelium is composed of cube-shaped cells, and the tissues tend to wrap and form tubules and ducts of glands. Columnar epithelium is composed of cells that resemble columns or pillars. Epithelial tissue can also be categorized as simple or stratified. Simple epithelium consists of a single layer of cells, while stratified epithelium consists of 2 or more layers of cells. Connective tissue is its function is to connect one organ or tissue to another. For example, tendons connect muscles to bone. Connective tissue also holds, supports, protects, and insulates body parts. In addition, connective tissue fills spaces, stores fats, and forms blood cells. Types of connective tissue include soft connective tissues and specialized connective tissues, cartilage, bone tissue, adipose tissue, and blood. Soft connective tissue is subdivided into 3 types of tissue: loose connective tissue, dense or irregular connective tissue, and dense and regular connective tissue. Loose connective tissue is found beneath the skin and supports the epithelium. This area is monitored by white blood cells to attack any pathogens that may enter through the skin. Dense, irregular connective tissue is found in the skin and around organs. The tissue provides structural support for the skin and protects the internal organs. Tendons and ligaments are composed of dense, regular tissue, connective tissue. Tendons attach muscles to bone, as you see here. Here's the muscle, here is the tendon, and here's the bone. And ligaments connect one bone to another at a joint. So here you see the knee joint, and you have the upper leg bone, and then you have the lower leg bones, and they are connected by the ligaments. Cartilage is a firm but pliable tissue that forms portions of a vertebrate skeleton. Cartilage is found at the ends of the long bones, in the ear, the nose, within the vertebral column, and elsewhere throughout the body. Here you see the nose, and you have the bone up here, and then you have the upper lateral cartilage, and this is a little bit stronger than this lower lateral cartilage. So if you touch your nose and you try to move the upper part, it's a little more tough to move, but as you get lower, the easier it is to move. Down low, or over here, you see we have the cartilage in the knee joints, and this is the normal femoral cartilage, and this is damaged cartilage. So people that have arthritis and issues with their knee joints, some of them look a lot like this. Bones are living structures that grow and are able to repair themselves if damaged. They are composed of calcium and small amounts of other minerals. They provide support for the body and protect their internal organs. Bones interact with skeletal muscles to create bodily movement. Some bones are the place for the production of blood cells. I'm going to show you really quickly here a video of bone being remodeled.
And osteoblasts, which refill the resorption cavities created by osteoclasts.
So there's osteoblasts that create these cavities, and then the osteoblasts, which are these, refill them and recreate the bone. Adipose tissue, otherwise known as fat, is a place of energy storage. Adipose tissue, which is composed of cells filled with lipids, also serves as insulation for the body. It is found mainly beneath the skin, as you see over here. This is a person with minimal fat on their body, just along the legs and around the arms. And this person has a lot of fat on their body. They have a lot of insulation. Blood is a connective tissue whose main functions are to transport nutrients and oxygen to cells and to carry carbon dioxide and other waste away from cells. Blood is composed of plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. So plasma, as you see here, is the liquid part of the blood. The red blood cells, which are right here, transport nutrients, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and wastes. The white blood cells, which are the purplish color, aid in fighting infection, and the platelets, which are these little jobbies right here, are important for blood clotting. Muscle tissue creates bodily movement and helps the respiratory and digestive systems to function. 3 types of muscle tissue are skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Skeletal muscle tissue is under voluntary control, and when it contracts, it creates bodily movement. Skeletal muscle is the largest component of red meat animal products. And it is here. It's what you see on the leg, on the arms. It helps all of those things move. Smooth muscle tissue is involuntary and found in the intestines, stomach, blood vessels, and other internal organs. So you see this here. And we don't have to think to make our body digest food. We have to think to make our legs move and our arms move. But the smooth muscle tissue just works. And the same with the cardiac muscle tissue, which is a part of the heart. And it is only in the heart. The nervous tissue, which contains nerve cells called neurons, is found in the brain and spinal cord. Together, the brain and spinal cord compose the central nervous system. And that is how we feel. That is the end of today's video. Thank you for your time. I'm coming! That was really good timing. I just finished my little video I was making.